So finally, Tim Walz sends in the police to help stop the violent protesters. Also, we'll hear from Byron Donalds and we'll ask the question, why is the Minnesota politics so important today? And how does it affect us going forward? So stick around. You don't want to miss this.
Freedom Talk, we're coming on the air. Coffee's hot, flags flying everywhere. Bible on the dash, truth in our walk. Turn it up loud, this is Freedom Talk.
Yes, welcome back to Freedom Talker. You caught me singing in there. My name is Steve. I'm your Freedom Talker today. Thank you for tuning in. And this is a brand new channel. Need your help. Can't do it alone. If you can give me a like, where are we at? There we are, right around there. Yes, give me a like and watch the channel to the end. Hit subscribe. You really boost this channel off to a great start. Well, anyways, let's talk about Tim Walz. He actually did something. I'm surprised. But anyways, he had an interesting conversation from our beloved president, Donald Trump, this morning. I don't know if President Trump gave him a little bit of encouragement to do something, but they did agree that it was a productive talk. And he actually sent in his own local law enforcement to do something. They had a weapon, and it's not too terribly new, but it is it's called LRAD, and this weapon is a long-range acoustic device, specialized directional speaker system used for broadcasting a clear message, voice message, or loud deterrent tones over long distances. Anyways, they sent the local police in, and they broke out this weapon, and this is how it went down last night.
The long-range acoustic device LRAD. 1, 2, 3.
See how they're covering the ears and walking away real quick.
Rest of the long-range acoustic device LRAD.
Yeah, they blast that, and it really hurts, and they don't want no part of that. So no longer than they did that, then all of a sudden the next day, they had to.
Amid the hysteria, we must remember how we.
I'm sorry, that's a wrong video. Today. They went over to Tim Walz's office and just kind of showed their displeasure there.
Justice denied, justice delayed, justice denied, justice delayed, justice.
And there you go. But if you look at these people over there, it kind of amazes me. The Somali people are being deported and stuff, but most of these protesters are like 70% white. Like here, a couple of there's a African American and a couple of Hispanic people, but it's about 30% white. And this is just how the liberal message gets out there and gets into these minds of these people, and really gets them to do their bidding, because the Democrats, they do not want to lose power or control. So they'll put they'll put the message out there, and people feel like they're on the right side of justice, which we're kind of in a civil war right now, if you didn't realize it or not. But as far as the message being sent out there, the ideology, the thinking about it, and it's with two beliefs. You got two beliefs out there. You got one that's justice, and one that they feel like they're doing justice, but they're impeding law enforcement and the justice. And we can't forget that we're trying to protect Americans. And there's a lot of illegals out there that they're killing Americans. They're doing sex crimes, they're doing murder, and numerous theft and numerous other crimes that is being committed. And on top of that, they're here illegally. They're not supposed to be here in the first place, which if they weren't here in the first place, they can't commit all these crimes. But we can't forget that all the jail cells from all these foreign countries, they empty the jail cells and they send them over here to America through the southern border. And now we have to deal with the mess. And these people that are brainwashed to protect these people, they're really on the, the wrong side of justice there, if they believe it or not. But we got Byron Donalds up next, and he has something to say on this matter too, as well. Let's get it right here to the beginning. And there we go.
What do you think of the FBI investigating who may be funding these protests in Minnesota? And are we now looking at more of an insurgency rather than organized protesting?
It's good to be with you this evening. I think the FBI investigating the funding sources of these organized AstroTurf protesters is legitimate because it's clear by some of the information released online about Signal Chat is that you have a highly organized counterinsurgency whose purpose is to target federal officials, federal law enforcement, impede them from doing their work, dox them, put their names and quite frankly their families' lives in harm's way. Because I think what people are kind of forgetting in this whole situation is that several months ago, ICE officials, no matter where they were in the country, their pictures were being taken, they were being identified, and their families were actually being targeted by these protests and these paid agitators. And so that's just simply wrong. If you want to protest against ICE, that's one thing. But if you want to target law enforcement, impede their activity to do that, that is something very different. That is not covered or protected in our Constitution. And I think it's something the FBI should be looking into.
Yeah, they should be looking into it. All right, if they're not already, we got to remember that this is being funded. Is a lot of people they're throwing some money in there, and that's the Democratic power. It's a machine, and they want to keep that power, and they'll do anything. And they want to spread. My opinion, they want to spread this to the rest of the country. And so far, the other big cities aren't jumping in like they did in 2020. They want to spread it. It is an election year. They want to get power back in Congress, and they're going to try everything they can to make try to make Trump look bad and that he's not doing a good job. However, I think he's doing a fabulous job, and we just all need to stick together. They're trying to separate the Republican Party too. They're trying to get us separated with Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, saying that they're not doing enough, and they're trying to get us sidetracked in other issues with the Epstein files. And we just basically need to stick together. Remember, we elected Donald Trump. As long as Donald Trump feels that long as Donald Trump feels that his staff is doing a good job, then he has my support. And he should have yours too, because we did vote for him. And I do see that they're doing a good job. I'll just speak real quickly. Just my support for Pam Bondi too. I think she's doing an excellent job. We have to put in consideration too that I believe she has more arrests than than Bill Barr ever did, or Jeff Sessions, those other Republicans, and Meredith. He had a lot of arrests, but it was on the wrong side of justice there. Anyways, moving forward. So Alex Preddy had a broken rib in anti-ICE protest the week before being shot. Yes, he had involved with ICE agents the week before. He decided to go protesting again, and this time carry a gun, which was a bad idea, which led to his death. If he didn't bring that gun, I bet you it would have been a different outcome. It all boils down to choices. Make good choices. Use common sense out there. Well, anyways, Alex Preddy, the ICU nurse who's killing the Border Patrol agents, ignited Minneapolis, known to federal immigration officers. He claimed to suffer a broken rib during violent confrontations with agents. Preddy told a friend he saw ICE agents chasing what he described as a family on foot. He stopped his car during the earlier incident. The friend said Preddy claimed to pull over, started shouting, and blew a whistle. Then the source said that he responded with a swift, brutal 5 agents that allegedly attacked him. Probably stopping him. Attack is probably a strong word. Probably tried to arrest him or something. Preddy claimed to one agent left him with a broken rib after leaning on his back. Friend told CNN. don't impede on somebody trying to do their job, especially law enforcement. That day, he thought he was going to die. Sources said. Freddie released the agents from the scene, and the report suggests it was a one-off clash. It wasn't a one-off, and reports suggest it wasn't a one-off clash. CNN report the federal immigration officers have been documenting details about Petty along with other ICE protesters in Minneapolis recent weeks. So this wasn't a one-off thing. He was planning these things, and the last time he planned to bring a gun, which was a bad idea. Got to use common sense. That is, I believe, inciting. You're inciting stuff. When you decide to bring a gun and you decide to disrupt justice, you just let the ICE officers do their job. In Louisiana, they came in 30 days, had one incident, and they did their job, got the bad illegals out, and now they're done. And they had actually zero deaths, and they had one incident. How amazing is that? And it's just because they give them their support. If Minnesota would have given them support, this would be totally different. But they want to stop the 2026 elections, and they do everything to deter it, to try to make the Republicans look bad and the Dems look good and try to reclaim the House. So that's that in a nutshell. But we need to remember she has something that we need to remember.
And what this Democrat opposition is about. Former President Joe Biden and the Democrats opened America's borders for 4 years, inviting tens of millions of illegal aliens from all over the world to flood into our country. Among them, violent criminals who terrorized American communities and have inflicted devastating, permanent pain and harm on law-abiding Americans and their families. Yet we never saw outrage from Democrats or their allies in the liberal media over these horrifying crimes against U.S. citizens. The pain of American angel families was ignored and dismissed because it undermined the Democrat narrative. Innocent Americans like Jocelyn Nungray, Laken Riley, and Rachel Morin are just a few of the many victims savagely murdered by illegal alien criminals. Earlier this month, an illegal alien from Mexico with a long criminal history who came into our country under Joe Biden's administration threw a baseball-sized stone at a school bus carrying children in New Jersey and fractured the skull of an 8-year-old innocent child. President Trump promised accountability to these American families by securing the border, deporting every illegal alien who has committed crimes, especially and most importantly, violent crime. Amid the hysteria, we must remember.
Yes, that's what we voted for. And that's what America voted for, was to have justice taken care of and illegal immigration to be gone. And so don't impede. Use common sense. But the reason why all this is being done, because America had enough, and we need to remember the victims. And we need to remember them and keep their families in our prayers. And just we need to use common sense. If you want to make sure that you're on the right side of justice, may I suggest that you find Jesus, pray, and use the Word of God to determine on what side you are on. Just real simple. What would Jesus do? And I don't think he would incite violence. He never did. He actually just asked questions. And just the question itself was able to convict the Pharisees, and they were able to drop their stones and turn away. So we have to remember that we're in a battle right now, spiritual one. We got battle on the streets, battle in the mind, a lot of things that we need to discern about and keep a level head on. Um, it all starts at the home, and make sure things are right at home, and that you're on the right side of justice. And once again, just remember, what would Jesus do? And keep America in its prayers. And we look forward to seeing you next time on Freedom Talk. Make sure to subscribe.